Good evening, sports fans. I'm Logan Carney here at Martelli Stadium, bringing you another Friday Night Lights matchup between the North Hills Indians and your number 8 ranked Plum Mustangs. Both teams are off to 1-0 starts as the Mustangs beat Hempfield last week and the Indians beat Fox Chapel. These two non-conference foes will meet again as they played each other last year, a meeting in which the Indians won by a score of 17-14. The Mustangs are expecting a different outcome this year as a running game led by Nick Coxon, Kevin Brown, Julio Bay, and Nick Carlesano looks better than advertised. On the other side, North Hills is hoping to establish a passing game, led by senior Jake Elizad, who is coming off a 3-touchdown performance against the Fox Chapel Foxes, and his number 1 target, who's also their running back, Nick Santucci. He had 120 of the 169 receiving yards for the Indians. North Hills is coached by Pat Carey, while your Mustangs are, of course, coached by Matt Morgan. Once again, I'm Logan Carney. Here with me today are fellow Plum students Tyler Wilson, Nolan Carney, Nino Fischetti, Dylan Fantone, and the real deal himself, Mr. Rick Barat. Guys, today we're going to see two teams play different styles of football. Nolan, I'll start with you first. What are the Mustangs going to have to do in order to control the tempo and come out of this one with another victory?
I'll tell you what, Logan, I'm really looking forward to seeing the Mustangs establish an early run game. I think the run is ultimately what's going to decide the game on the Mustangs' behalf. See how they can press against North Hills' defense. That's what I'd like to see.
Very valid point. Nino?
I think it's going to depend definitely on the quarterbacks. I think Matt Goodland and Corey Thomas are definitely going to be valuable in this game, but also I think that Jaleel, Kevin, and Nick Coxon are also going to be very valuable, but I have to go with passing.
Mr. Rick Barat, your thoughts?
Hey guys, I agree with what Nolan and Nina said, but I think the one thing you got to watch out tonight, and you know, first of all, I want to apologize if you think we're screaming tonight. We're right underneath these ginormous speakers in the beautiful press box here at North Hills Stadium, and the student body, which it's American night, I guess, which is at least 250, 300 students are screaming also, but it's going to be offensive line play. I think Eric Trends has a huge job. I was watching with Pat Crossy today a lot of the footage when North Hills had their scrimmage against Upper St. Clair, and looks like their defense, when their offensive line will cut block, and also their defensive line immediately tries to put pressure on. So I think if Plum's offensive line plays as well as they did last week, this game might, I think personally, could be easier than a lot are anticipating. Like we said earlier, we talked about it today, Plum lost last year 17-14 in North Hills. It was almost like a coming out party for Plum. They beat Hempfield the previous week. And so the big bad North Hills Indians came rolling in, coached by Pat Carey, who I actually taught with at Moon High School in 93, 94. He's one of my friends, real good guy. We know his players will be well coached, but North Hills, we'll call a spade a spade. It was 13-6 against Fox Chapel last week, and Plum in their scrimmage pretty much handled Fox Chapel. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, and I agree. I don't know who won the toss, guys, but as we're getting ready now, as you can see North Hills getting ready to receive. I agree with Plum playing defense first because Coach Morgan always likes to defer, and secondly, might be able to take this crowd right out of the game if you're able to hold them 1, 2, 3 plays and punt.
Jacob Chappell, of course, kicking off for the Mustangs. Back to return for the North Hills Indians will be number 1, Nick Santucci, one of the senior captains of this team. He led the team in rushing yards last year, although his total was under 400. It's very surprising statistics, actually, with all their leaders. Much lower than you expect from a team that's got off to a 4-0 start.
Awaiting the kickoff by Jacob Chapla.
And we talked about this last week also, guys. Jake just boots that ball in the end zone. Huge, huge. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but North Hills starts on their 20-yard line. That beats the 30-35 any day of the week.
The student section is up and ready, and so is the kick. And this one will not go in the end zone, and Santucci will return. He will get down, too. No, he fumbles. Santucci fumbles.
Looks like Plum's ball.
And it is picked up by number 18, Jason Hubner.
I'll tell you what, having a kicker like Jacob Chapla is a huge advantage for the Mustangs, as they are now basically in field goal territory as they're at the 30. A couple runs will give Jacob an easy field goal, as we have seen him kick before.
I'm curious about that rule, because the North Hills kickoff returner had 1 foot in the end zone. I don't know if the rule is both feet. So that's something, guys, we're going to have to look up. But, hey, we'll take it. Plum ball in the North Hills 30 to start off.
We will see Corey Thomas at quarterback first. He will throw. That is number 5, Kevin Brown. Brown will be tackled behind the line for a loss of about 4 on the play.
Kevin Brown looking like he didn't have much room to scramble there. Dropped back in almost a pass-like formation.
Well, we saw them do that as the very first play of the season last game. It actually ended up in a different outcome. It was a 60-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked at that play call, guys. I think Plum wanted to strike gold real quick here. Try a gadget play. We saw what happened with the Patriots-Steeler game last night on that first series, so we'll see what Plum does now. 2nd and 14.
Corey Thomas will hand to Brown. Brown will break a tackle.
Outside,
he will get another one. He gets to the outside. He breaks. No, he will be tackled. That is number 5, Nathan Zimmerman on the tackle.
That'll be 3rd and 7 for Plum.
3rd and 7, just joining us. Plum with the Indians, fumbled the opening kickoff. Plum recovered it on the 30-yard line. Is now 3rd and 7 with 10:40 left to go here. Running clock in the first quarter.
As you can see, they did go to Brown. Both downs of this play, I want to see who they go to next.
Corey Thomas in shotgun. Zach Nolan goes to the other side. He will throw.
Gotta get rid of it.
He will be wrapped up. He will get a couple of yards, but it will not be enough for the first. And I believe we will see Jake Chappell out here to attempt his first field goal of the game.
4th and 4 coming from the 25-yard line. I do believe Chappell would be able to make the field goal.
Yeah, sorry, Nina. I didn't mean to cut you off there. Yeah, the ball's on the 25. It'll be 4th and 5. See Jake setting up here at the 32. So this will be a 42-yard field goal. Tyler Wilson here zooms out, try to get the best views we can.
A bit of an odd angle he's kicking from as well.
The kick is up, and it will be
long enough.
No good. It had the distance, but it will just miss. And after the huge turnover by the Mustangs on the kickoff, they will come away with nothing. But now we will see the Mustangs defense come out here that was very good last year and looked really good in the Hempfield game.
It's kind of funny because basically we have a touchback from the kickoff now that North Hills is starting at right about the 20-yard line, but there is some time off the clock, so it's not quite a touchback on the opening kick.
So we pretty much, guys, started with a wash here. We just erased the first 2 minutes and 18 seconds, and North Hills starts on the 20.
And there's a snap. He will hand it off. And we'll get about 4 on the play. 9:34 remaining here in the first quarter.
That's Nick Santucci, and we're gonna hear Nick Santucci's name called a lot tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He is their all-around player. They will try to, kind of like Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers. They will run to Santucci. They will throw to Santucci. He will touch the ball a bunch tonight.
Santucci led the team in running yards last year. He had 3 receiving touchdowns in the last game, and he will hand it off to Santucci. Santucci will break a tackle and get down to about the 34-yard line. And that will be a first down for North Hills. 8:57 remaining on the clock. Nothing here in the first quarter.
It just looks like they're going to be handing the ball off to their running back Santucci a lot today.
Senior running back, a big playmaker on the team, something that Plum is very, very aware of, as we have 4 very good running backs, as Nick Carlosano was actually cleared from injury today. Jake Elizad will get the snap. He will hand it off to Santucci. He'll be wrapped up immediately. behind the line. That was number 85, Zachary Nolan.
Plum really jumped on that play. They knew right what they were doing. They went in strong, and they brought him down at about the 30-yard line.
That was a loss of 5 on the play. Be second down and 15, ball on the 30-yard line as we get under 8 minutes here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if Coach Morgan there, if they called a run blitz or whatever, but Zach Nolan was camping out in the backfield. So North Hills backs up against the wall a little bit, guys. Second and 15 as we're under now 7:50 left to go in the first quarter.
The Mustangs will show blitz. Relies that in shotgun. And there's a flag on the play.
I think that might be offsides against the Mustangs, guys. We'll see if they were drawn. Ooh, is that delay game? I did not see the clock go out.
That is an interesting
delay game call there.
Interesting twist. I thought that Plum had jumped off, but I was not looking at the clock as well.
So that will back them up
even further. So it should be 2nd and 20.
No, on 2nd and 20.
I'm sorry, second and 20 on the 25. Good, Nolan.
I was just going to say that on 2nd and 20, there's a lot of options that they could do. They could try to pound the ball forward with a run. I'd think that they'd pass the ball, though. That would be my guess, that they wouldn't try another run. Quarterback draw.
Or a running back draw. You know, they get the ball in Santucci's hands one way or the other. Oh, interesting. Plum declined the penalty. I don't understand that. Oh, they called offsides also on Plum, so the penalty's offset. Oh, holding? Okay, so there was offsides on Plum and delay a game, so we'll throw that one out. So 2nd and 15 on the 30. Here we go.
Oh, and fumble. He will drop the ball, and he will get tackled down at the 15-yard line. High snap, and Eliza could not hang on to it, and it will be 3rd and long.
That was Zach Nolan again, guys, way in the backfield, who's having a real good game start off tonight. So we have about 3rd and a gazillion. Looks like the ball's on the 16, and they got to go to the 45. So it'd be 3rd and 29, which sets up well here for Plum. They have a chance here to get the ball at midfield if they don't commit a penalty and are able to hold North Hills to no gain here, an incomplete pass. But we'll see what Coach Carey calls. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, as they run out of their pistol, some sort of maybe handoffs to Santucci just to get 5 or 10 yards maybe.
And they will hand it off to Santucci, and he will break a tackle, and he'll get up the sideline, and he will get up over 10 yards. There's a flag. There's a late flag on the play.
Yeah, Tyler has it there. They got some laundry on the 16-yard line. That's probably going to go against the Indians.
Santucci was knocked out of bounds by number 8.
That was a big run, a great play by North Hills. Good play call there by Coach Carey.
There's another flag out at the 39-yard line.
Could be offsetting. Could be a face mask or personal foul. And Coach Morgan's not on the field. I don't know what. He's on the 20. I don't know if Tyler can get him. Coach Morgan's eagerly waiting the referee's call. He's coming out now to the 25-yard line as he's talking to the ref. If the referee's explaining something to him, it's probably against North Hills, you would assume. Got a block in the back against the Indians. Personal foul against the Mustangs. So that should be offsetting penalties. So that play should come back to the 16-yard line, and we'll do it all over again. Or no, I guess they took the difference from the spot of the foul. Or is the ref going to mark anything off? I don't know. The ball's on the 23. Strange happenings here, guys, at the beginning of the game.
Looks like Mustangs are going to try to make a stop, try to push a punt here. A little change in possession.
I don't understand. It should be offsetting. I don't think the personal foul takes precedence.
I believe a block in the back is a 10-yard penalty, and a personal foul is 15. So
the ball was on the 16. They move it to the 21 then. It's still.
Eliza, he will keep it, and he will run, and he will get tackled immediately. That was number 62, Christopher Erfurt.
I'll tell you what, there's no fooling this Mustang defense tonight. They know what's going to be called before it's called, and they go after the football every time.
To have Patrick Crossy guys coming back to return a punt, and I'll say it again, I'll say it every week, immensely overdue for a punt return. Well deserved. 3 punt returns last year to the 3-yard line or less. Had one called back last week.
And the kick when the punt is up, Crossy will catch it and he will get hit immediately. Down about the 36-yard line.
I think that was a smart decision by Crossy. It was either he caught it right there and then got hit, or you would let the ball roll all the way down deep into Mustang territory.
Something that I've already noticed from last year is that they seem to not want to catch the ball on punt returns. A lot of balls rolling behind them for loss of yards. I'm really excited to see what the special teams is going to do this year on the punt returns.
No doubt, no doubt.
They will spot the ball on the 40. 6:02 remaining in the first quarter. 0-0 if you're just joining us.
I'd like to see what Plum does on the ground game here, guys. I think they can run it on North Hills. So.
Number 12, Matt Goodlin.
Matt Goodlin is in the game at quarterback. In shotgun, he will hand it off immediately to Brown. Brown breaks up the outside. He will get tackled, though, and get about 2 yards on the line.
Brought down by number 1, Nick Santucci.
The referee looked like he was going to throw his flag, but actually put it in his pocket.
Looks like he got to the 42, maybe 43.
On the 42-yard line. Second down at 8. 5:30 left in the first quarter. 0-0.
Wouldn't be surprised if this was another run also.
Kevin Brown in the running back. Matt Goodlin as quarterback. He will hand it off, and he will get
Number 5, Kevin Brown.
maybe a yard, if anything, on that one.
Kevin Brown,
As the North Hills Indians defense is all over that one.
really struggling thus far on the run game.
As well as number 7, Brad Lund.
It seems like North Hills knows exactly what to do. They know Kevin can be a threat to this team with the outside running and the moves that he has. So they are trying to lock it down. I say the Mustangs go to the passing game next possession.
3rd down and 8. Here the student section start to get in this one. Matt Goodlin will be in shotgun.
Dylan Whiteman next to him, spread set.
And there's a snap. He will throw. There's the pass. It will be caught by Brown, but he will get tackled immediately.
Goodlin's pass completes number 5.
And he will get maybe 2 yards on that one.
35, Joey Tomasic.
Looks like they're spotting that one at the 45, so it's going to be 4th and 5 for the Mustangs. You could see Jacob Chapla coming out for the punt.
Jacob Chapla did not punt a lot last year. We saw Zach Nolan take pretty much all the punts. He did win a punting competition at a kicking camp his junior year, and here is the punt. And it will be a big one.
That was a nice
He calls
punt.
for the fair catch, and will be spotted at the 15-yard line.
Again, such a weapon to have, Jake. He's able to punt that ball. And again, it's like we haven't done anything yet. 3:54 left to go here in the first quarter. North Hills, the Indians, starting at their 15-yard line. So far, it's the Mustang offense struggled a little bit to run the ball in that last series. North Hills with 1 first down so far, and that's all we have. So, and right now, Plum is winning the battle of field position, which is huge.
North Hills offense takes the field. There's the snap. He will hand it off to Santucci. Santucci will be tackled immediately.
That's number 20 by the Mustangs.
That was Dylan Whiteman, who had a big game last week. Zachary Kay's helmet fell off on the play, so he will be taken off. As a rule, if your helmet falls off, you're not allowed to play the next play.
Just about every play offensively North Hills has had so far, it has indeed went to their running back. They are using him definitely to his ability against this Mustang defense.
Much like Plum as well, both offenses have been relying on the run game thus far.
And there is the snap. He will throw.
Wide open.
And he has him, and he will get tackled at about the 30, the 20, 3-yard line.
See, Kevin Brown slipped when he tried to come back on this quick out route, and which is why the North Hills receiver was wide open, guys. Neen?
Well, what I see here is they just were not ready for a pass. The ball has been going to Santucci the whole time, so now Kevin Brown is going to have to man up and just get more tighter on that coverage.
I'd be surprised if this doesn't go to Santucci.
And he will hand it off to Santucci, and he will get the first down, and he will get tackled at about the 28-yard line.
Santucci on the carry.
So that'll be first down. 2:29 left here in the first quarter. Nothing score.
First down.
I think what you're seeing, guys, is both teams, I don't want to say with quarterback issues, but quarterbacks slightly struggling a little bit to pass the ball. So North Hills with Santucci, who's a really good running back, able to establish that run game a little bit more than the Mustangs. So this could be a test here of the coach's game plans here to see who can get the first big play. And right now, Plum had the first big play of the turnover, was unable to capitalize.
We are about to go under 2 minutes here in the first quarter. There's a snap. He will hand off to Santucci again, and Santucci will get nothing, maybe a yard on the play.
I think that's a real generous spot there, Logan. I did not think he crossed that stick. And they're marking him on the 29-yard line, and it's 2nd and 9, and that's shocking to me. That's a gift.
The Mustangs are switching up their coverage a little bit, leaving Pat Crossy all by himself back there in the safety position. Nick Coxon moving up, Kevin Brown on corner. And so is Leighton Quao over on the opposite side.
We saw Leighton Quao have a very nice game last time out here.
Santucci now, guys, lined up in the slot. Wonder if he'll try to pass to him.
And they will throw.
Dakota Sunday running after him, couldn't get to it.
And a great catch by number 32, Bryce Walker. He has the first 2 catches of the game for North Hills, and that one was a nice one. And that will be a first down. 1:13 left in the first quarter. Ball on the 47-yard line.
When you establish a run game early on, like North Hills has, and you do a play-action pass, the defense is certainly a lot more vulnerable, and I think that they should be on their toes for that, as they do have a weapon on the passing game.
And there is the snap.
Screen.
He will throw to Santucci. Santucci will get across the 50 and about to the 47-yard line. Actually, they will spot him at the 46. And it will be
solid gain there, guys. 6 or 7.
Second down and 3 with 1:07 remaining in the first quarter.
And in high school football, even though North Hills is moving, obviously, you know, that's not the best of things, but, you know, they're going to start winning. They're winning the battlefield position. If they don't have a kicker like Jake Chapla, they got to get at least to the 20-yard line, or it's 4-down territory.
Jake Elizad. And
looks like we have a jump on.
Looks like the right. I thought it was the right side.
Certainly.
Of the offensive line or the running back.
It does look like it will be on North Hills for a false start.
And when you're second,
and they are moving back.
Perhaps Santucci on the right side.
Might have been. And when you're 2nd and 3 to go to 2nd and 8.
That's huge.
That's huge.
So 2nd down and 8. That will push them to the 49-yard line.
That's a drive stopper.
Certainly.
No doubt.
Let's hope the Mustangs can capitalize.
Isaac comes back in the huddle with the play.
Santucci lined up.
We see trips on the right side.
And there's a snap. He will throw. He moves to his right. He will scramble and buy some time, and he will go right open. He has his room, and he'll get down to the 40-yard line, and that will be a first down.
See, Logan, you see trips on the opposite side of the field. Almost every defenseman started flowing to the other side. So that gave the quarterback perfect opportunity to cut opposite field and definitely try to beat Kevin Brown, the corner, on the close side of the field.
Well said, Nino.
And that was interesting. When they had those trips there, there's only 2 Plum defenders on that side. They must have saw something on tape that when they go trips, they run to the opposite side.
The opposite side of the field was wide open for the Mustangs. Kevin Brown was the lone defender back there one-on-one with the quarterback.
It looks like we will have actually maybe a clock, something off the clock.
It's down to 53 seconds.
Did the receivers or the quarterback step out of bounds on that last play?
I don't know, but the Pat Carey, the head coach for North Hills guys, was signaling up to the clock. He told him to put back up 5 seconds, so it goes to 58.
The clock did not stop running, and that is certainly an issue.
58 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Ball on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10. Santucci in the backfield. Here's the snap. He will hand it off to Santucci, who will get through the hole, and he will get down to about the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you what, when you're playing against a team like North Hills at North Hills, with their student section being as large and prestigious as they are, momentum is certainly a big part of this game. And I honestly would see the team that scored first as getting a lot more of an advantage than 3, 7, perhaps 8 points in this game.
North Hills taking their time in the huddle, not seeming to care about ending the first quarter with the ball in their possession.
And this is a great call here, 2nd and 1. Santucci now has just been ripping off some huge chunks, guys.
And he will get hit. It does not look like he moved on that one. We'll have to see where the spot is.
Yeah, I think he got it, Logan. He only needed maybe a half a yard.
It doesn't look like from up here.
And
bringing out the chains. Oh no, called 1st down. So that will be essentially the last play of the quarter as they start up the clock.
So at the end of the first quarter, there is no score. North Hills is driving on the legs of Nick Santucci.
Certainly.
And North Hills High School would like to make.
See, I would love to see what North Hills has in store for the second quarter. As you see, Nick Santucci definitely has the ability to run past the Mustangs defense, but I would just like to know, with the luck that they're having now, the score being 0-0, if they will rely on the passing game, both the Indians and the Mustangs, for the second quarter.
The United States Army would like to take.
The Mustangs guys are going to have to get a stop here. They've had North Hills drive it from, what was it, the 16, 15-yard line. So they've drove 55 yards already.
15, their own 16-yard line to the opposite 30, with, I would say, 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Let's see if the Mustangs would be able to stop them at field goal range. If not, have them make a short punt.
And obviously, Nino, the majority of the plays for both offenses, especially North Hills, has been running, but it is not, they have picked up a lot of big yard plays on the pass, and I would not be surprised if they would do more passing in this quarter.
First and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. There's a snap. He will hand it off to Santucci, who finds a hole, and he will get down to the 18-yard line, and that will be a first down.
Santucci has been tearing up this defense ever since they completed that pass. Completing that pass drove the Mustangs back into more of a coverage rather than focusing straight on the running back. If North Hills has both the passing and the running, I think this is going to be a problem.
We haven't seen a whole lot of outside running on North Hills. A lot of inside power running, gain as many yards as you can, pushing it through. And I believe that we're going to see a continuation of that going in through the game.
And there's a snap. He will hand it off to Santucci. He will try and go to the outside, but he will be wrapped up.
We'd like to welcome Tyler Wilson to the booth today. Tyler, how are you doing today?
Great, Nino. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. What are your opinions on this first quarter?
I think the Mustangs performed really well. They just have to find a way to stop the run game.
No gain, a second down.
I would also agree with that statement, and it not allowing North Hills to score in the first quarter has really shown the strength of our run defense, but our pass defense could also we would benefit from a better pass defense.
2nd down and 10. There's a snap. He will fake the handoff, and he will miss his man that was intended for number 15, Owen Davis. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. Ball on the 18-yard line.
This is looking like field goal position for the Indians. If they stop here, let's see if we can only hold the Indians to 3 points.
And the Indians offense will head to the line. Lizette in shotgun.
You've got a twin on the right side.
Santucci will move to the other side, and they will go with trips. And he will find Santucci, and he will get down inside the 5-yard line to about the 3. And that will be another 1st down for North Hills.
It looks like Santucci can do it all. He can get the running game on the inside. He can also cut to the outside. He's catching everything that is thrown to him today. He is really on fire for this game.
As we talked about in the 1st quarter, Santucci is kind of like a Le'Veon Bell of sorts. He can do it all. Had 120 of the team's 169 receiving yards. He also had 2 touchdowns.
Obviously hinting run here.
And he will hand it off to Santucci, and Santucci will he will break a tackle and go out the outside, and that will be a touchdown.
That was an impressive run play that we saw on North Hill.
Santucci breaks a tackle to go into the end zone, and North Hills will take a 6-0 lead here.
Hopefully that'll open the Mustangs' eyes that the player to watch is definitely their running back, number 1, Nick Santucci.
Siler on to attempt the extra point. LCN to hold.
Extra point.
Jake Elizad, their starting quarterback, will be holding for their kicker. And that one will be up and good. That was number 28, Jacob Seller, who will make this a 7-0 ball game. So with 10:41 remaining in the half, the North Hill Indians strike first. 7-0 lead here. And one thing that we talked about before this pregame is the atmosphere here at North Hills.
Tremendous.
They have a student section of at least 300 kids, people tailgating up in the parking lot behind the bands, and then of course the Rowdy Rooters all the way out by the houses.
If you take a look at the Rowdy Rooters, those sirens and those flashing lights did indeed go off at that touchdown. They are an exciting group of people. They love high school football, and they've sure got lots of it in that location.
We are showing them. Nolan mentioned sirens. You might have heard it when North Hills scored.
Back to return for the Mustangs is number 5, Kevin Brown. Alongside him is number 7, Jaleel Bay. Both of which are running backs for the Mustangs and seem to be going to be a huge threat this season.
Yes, we talked about the Mustangs running game. They just got back running back Nick Colasano, who should factor into an impressive group of backs.
Aaron Collins on the kickoff for North Hills.
Harry Collins with the kickoff. I'm sorry, Aaron Collins with the kickoff, number 16.
Brown and Bay back deep for the Mustangs.
And there's the kick. It will be squibbed, but Brown will still pick it up. He'll get past the 20, and he has some room.
Brown
He's going down. He's going past the 50, going down to the 40.
Him and the kicker.
He has a man, but he beats him. He goes down the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown!
That right there is a shift in momentum that will prove.
As you can see, Brown is looking very dangerous, full of speed, and is pulling the moves incredibly. He just cut right through the North Hills kicking squad. As you can see, Jake Chapla is out here, and this is a huge momentum shift for the Mustangs.
Yes, North Hills student section is left speechless.
And just like that, the Mustangs will attempt to tie this game up, 7-6 now. Jake Chapla, who does not miss many extra points, will likely tie this one up here. And what an impressive return by Kevin Brown.
Certainly. Getting through holes, weaving in and out. When it comes down to Kevin Brown and the kicker, I like Kevin Brown in that matchup.
and it will hit the top of the scoreboard, go over the net, and that will tie this game up. So with 10:29 remaining in half, the Mustangs tie this game up on the return by Kevin Brown. Your score, 7-7.
Logan, hopefully this will be a momentum shift for the Mustangs. How do you think that is going to make the pressure on North Hill's defense? North Hill's offense is going to be huge. It's all going to be up to Nick Santucci, and no matter what, I feel that they are going to give him the ball almost this whole drive.
Now, I'll tell you what, Nino, high school football, unlike professional sports, is a game full of a lot more emotion, where players get rattled. They make good decisions, they make poor decisions. And that touchdown has really turned the page and reset the momentum, and I'm excited to see how North Hills will respond and how Plum's defense will respond.
Jake Chapler lined up for the kick.
We've talked about how good the Mustangs defense is and how good their running game, but the play of the special teams has been the game changer here. They had a fumble on the opening kickoff, and of course the big kick return there. Jake Chapler on the kick. Santucci back to return.
Santucci can catch, he can run. Let's see how he can return kicks.
And the kick will be off. And this one will come up short of the end zone. Santucci will be able to return. And he will get tackled at, looks like the 21. They will give him the 22-yard line.
Logan, I like what you said about the Mustangs special team, as not only do they have one of the best kickers, I would venture to say, in the Whippeals, but also their return game has been strong, as well as keeping North Hills in check on those returns, causing a fumble, which was huge, that unfortunately they could not capitalize on. But it seems like all aspects of this special team has been firing today.
Mustangs defense up and set.
Quick change. We now have number 7, Jaleel Bay, in for Kevin Brown at the corner spot alongside Leighton Quao. In the back, we have Patrick Rossi along with Nick Coxon.
After a return like that, I'd certainly say Kevin Brown would need some rest, and it would be very beneficial.
We have a big defensive line up here for the Mustangs, but we also have a fairly strong secondary. Let's see how they can react to a pass.
Jake Wazad in shotgun. He will hand the ball off to Santucci, who will get maybe 2 yards on that. They will give him 2. So the ball will be on the 25-yard line.
I think that the Mustangs is playing their defense very well as far as plays that they're called. Obviously on first and second down, you're expecting a run, but you also can't give up a pass, and they seem to have been doing the best of both worlds on their defense.
They actually gave him 3 yards there, so it'll be second down and 7, 9:49 left on the clock. Jake will hand off, and he has Nick Santucci will break a long run there. That will move the chains, get down to the 30, my apologies, the 43-yard line.
As you can see here, Logan, almost every run Santucci has made, it has been from the inside.
First and 10. You can almost bet that North Hills will go on the run here.
And there's the unofficial rushing stats. Nick Santucci already with 67 unofficial yards. And they will fake the handoff to him. And there's that will be caught by number 15, Aaron Davis.
Kevin Brown back in the game with that tackle.
He will get to the 50.
I mentioned earlier in the game the effectiveness of the play-action pass when you do have a back that can consistently pound the ball, and that is what we saw here, and you can expect to see it a few more times in this half.
Mustangs defense gets set.
Second and I'd say 3 for the North Hills Indians.
North Hills Indians, second down and 2, ball on the 49-yard line, 8:41 remaining in the half, 7-7 the score. He will hand it off to Santucci, who will get maybe a yard on that one. Yes, they will give him a yard. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 here for the North Hills Indians as we get to about the 8-minute mark. Ball on the 48-yard line, 7-7 your score here in the second quarter.
Beautiful, beautiful night for football, I'd have to say.
Yes, there is not a cloud in the sky. We were worried a little bit that it might rain, but there is not a cloud in the sky. And there's the snap. You hand off Santucci, and the Mustangs will make a huge stop.
That's a 4th down and 4 for the Mustangs.
Loss of about 2 on that one.
Dylan Whiteman made a pretty good play there.
He certainly did.
I'm going to say that they're bringing the punting team out for North Hills. Pat Crossy is moving back to return, and as you guys said earlier, Logan, I believe that he is due up for a punt return for a touchdown. He had one last week. It got called back due to a block in the back, but let's see what he can do here.
To punt for North Hills will be number 16, Aaron Collins.
All the way back at the 35-yard line, you're not too concerned about North Hills getting within the 10-yard line on a punt, but let's see how it works out here.
Short punt here.
And
Crossy's still going to try to pick it up.
Return, he will get down to the 20-yard line. There's a flag on the play. We saw Kevin Brown in a North Hills cover man getting a little shoving match.
Yes, did not look like the flag was thrown near the ball in the return. Let's see.
And the Mustangs looks like they will back up as there is an illegal block for the Mustangs.
Brings them way back to about.
This will put them at the 10-yard line. So we will have 1st down and 10 from the 10.
Expect to see Kevin Brown.
Matt Goodwin in the quarterback. Nick Coxon behind him. And Coxon will get to about the 19-yard line.
Coxon's very important to this team.
It looks like they're in a wildcat formation.
He can allow Kevin Brown to not take as many snaps.
Yeah. He is in wildcat. You said we might have saw Nick Coxon with, my apologies, Matt Goodman in a quarterback, but it is Nick Coxon in a wildcat formation.
As you can see,
2nd down and 1 here with 6:14 remaining in the half. 7-7 the score. And there's a
North Hills pointing at Plum.
Looks to be a timeout called by the Mustangs. That'll be the first timeout for the Mustangs and first timeout of the game. That will stop the clock at 6:08 remaining in the half. So your score at the first timeout, 7-7. Mustangs have a 2nd down and 1 situation on the 19-yard line with 6:08 remaining in the half. And this will be a good time to go to pause 10 seconds for station identification.
Comcast Channel 23, Verizon Channel 30. You're watching your flagship home for Plum Mustang Sports, an affiliate of Plum TV, the Plum Mustang Sports Network. Now, you can expect that with a timeout called on 2nd and 1, Coach Matt Morgan is getting a creative play worked up. Expect to see something different than what we've seen thus far.
But see, Logan, this also gives the North Hills defense a chance to regroup.
They come out with Matt Goodwin at quarterback, no longer the wildcat formation. And they will, looks like they are gonna run here. They will hand it off to
Dylan Whiteman.
Yeah, number 27, Dylan Whiteman.
Almost,
he will get the 1st down. We saw them do that a lot last week. Hand it off to him as he had a big game on both sides of the ball.
almost a goal line formation they were running there. You could tell power run is what they were going for, and they did move the chains. 1st and 10 on the 22.
It looked like Goodland was very quick with the snap. Goodland is back out here for the Mustangs. He sends center Mike Carragino forward.
Mustangs offensive line, one of the better ones in Whippeal. Matt Goodland will be under center. There is the snap, and he will hand it off to number 7, Jaleel Bay, who had a big game last week. He will get to the 29-yard line. So we will have a 2nd down and 3 coming up.
Seems that for the remainder of the first half, the Mustangs will be trying other options at running back, as Kevin Brown had posted up big numbers in the first quarter and much into the second quarter. They're going to see how productive their other backs can be, and I'm excited.
2nd down and 3, 5:13 remaining in the half. Matt Goodland at quarterback, Jaleel Bay at running back. They will hand it off to Bay, and he will break a tackle, but he will not get much else. So there will be a loss of 2 on the play. So we will have a 3rd down and 5 coming up.
Nolan, as you were saying, I really think that the Mustangs running game is going to be the closest thing to unstoppable this year. I think that Kevin Brown, Jaleel Bay, Nick Hodgson, and Nick Carlesano, who just got cleared to play, I think that's a deadly combination.
We do not know if we will see Carlesano, but we hope to see him. He just got back from an MCL.
Expect a slight, you know, it's a process when you're coming off an injury like an MCL, and they're going to try to slowly work him back into the lineup.
Matt Goodland will throw. He will break a tackle, and that will be to number 23, Ashton Teeter, their star receiver, and that will get the 1st down. And a great play by Matt Goodland to break the tackle and get it to Teeter for the 1st down.
We haven't seen much of Teeter in the first half, and mainly because we've been relying so heavily on the running game. I'd like to see him more utilized in the second half. I believe that he's a big asset to our team.
Last week against Hempfield, Teeter has had a great game, but it seems like the Mustangs have just been called for a penalty, so they're going to move that back, and it looks like it is going to be 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs.
Mustangs coach Matt Morgan does not look happy on that one, and this will be a 3rd down and 9, like Nino said. Ball will be on the 23-yard line. 4:13 remaining in the half. 7-7 score. Corey Thomas in at quarterback now. We've seen the Mustangs throw the ball a lot with Thomas in last week.
Timeout called.
That will be North Hill's first timeout of the game. So with 3:53 remaining in the half, your score is 7-7. The Mustangs need 9 to get the 1st down here on 3rd down.
When you talk about football at any level, expectations at the beginning of the season are something that's always mentioned, especially before the first game, going into a second game, first game. And I believe that this is the highest anticipated season the Mustangs have had in quite a while. Last year they had a great season, beating Penn Hills in the playoff game, but losing in the next round. And I'm interested to see how far they can go in the playoffs. If playoffs, hopefully they are an option. I believe that they are an option, as ranked 8th, I believe, in the Whippeals. And I'm really interested to see how Plum is going to finish this season.
MSA has them ranked 10th. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, which was what Nolan was referring to. The Mustangs are ranked 8th. They moved up from 10th last week. MSA did not have them ranked. Corey Thomas in at quarterback. Kevin Brown will go to the side, and he will throw it to Brown. Brown will bobble the ball and only get about 3 on the play.
Jake Chaplin, the punting team, will be out for the Mustangs. Nolan, as you were saying, after that devastating loss to McKeesport last year, I think the Mustangs are going to come out of the gate strong. I think that after that 38-17 win against Hempfield last week, that is nothing but extra momentum for the Mustangs. I think they are at a very high point in this football program.
Yes, I agree. It's going to be interesting seeing how they come into the season this year.
And there's the punt. Nick Santucci will call for a fair catch, but he will drop it. And Ashton Teeter, who saw Nick Santucci call for the fair catch, started to head off to the sideline. But Santucci bobbled the ball, and it will go to the 41-yard line.
Last year was certainly an interesting season as Plum was more or less the underdog in most situations. Little expectations coming into the season. Now our expectations are so high, the bar set really high. It's only leaving us to wonder if the Mustangs will fill the shoes that the previous Mustangs have set forth.
1st and 10.
And there's the snap. He will get maybe a yard, if anything.
7-7.
Zachary K with the tackle there. 7-7 here. 2nd down and 10. Under 2 minutes.
2nd down and 10.
Student section.
45 seconds now.
More or less removed from the game thus far.
We heard a lot about this atmosphere, but since the Mustangs touchdown, it has been quiet here. And there's
2nd
the
and 10.
snap to Lizad, who will throw. He will run over to left, and that will be caught. No, he will drop
pass.
it. Incomplete. Incomplete pass. The intended receiver, number 22, Brennan Tyler.
Broken up by number 5, Kevin Brown.
It looks like they're going to spot it. It looks like that it is going to be a complete pass. We see a ref in the middle of the field waving it off for an incomplete pass.
I do not believe that pass was complete, and neither do the refs. They're bringing
The
it
North
back.
Hills coach is not happy.
If you're watching with us, the North Hills coach is indeed drawing.
Pat Carey is not happy on that one as he is yelling at the ref.
Drawing quite a bit of attention.
The two refs disagreed on whether that was a catch or not, but they will roll it incomplete, and we will have 3rd down and 10 coming up with 2:17 remaining in the half. This would be a huge stop for the Mustangs defense if they can stop them here. Jake Elizad in quarterback. He has 3 wide receivers lined up. And there's the snap. He will throw. And he will be picked off. That is number 24, Zachary K. Zachary K will get down to about the 44-yard line. And a huge stop by the Mustangs, as not only does that give them the football, but it gives them about 20, maybe 30 more yards than what a punt would have.
I'll tell you what, Logan, a few good passes, a few solid runs. We're in field goal position, leaving the first half up 3-7 points perhaps. That's huge going into the second half.
We also get to return the ball the second half. So if we are up 14-7 or maybe even 10-7.
Matt Goodland will get the snap. He will hand it off to Jaleel Bay, who will break a tackle and then get tackled at about the 41-yard line. So it will be 2nd down and 7. Sorry, they will.
Ball spotted.
Under 2 minutes now.
41-yard line.
Under 2 minutes now. 7-7 the score here in the half. The Mustangs trying to get a lead here going into halftime. Corey Thomas now in at quarterback. Jaleel Bay still the back. And Corey Thomas will throw. Has man open. That was intended for number 18, Jason Hubner. An incomplete pass here. Under 1 minute and 30 seconds. There is a flag on the play.
Opposite end of the field, there is a flag, yes.
It looks like it might be going against the Mustangs. No, it was going against North Hills.
Personal foul on North Hills.
That will move them up and give the Mustangs much better field.
That's
So
an
we'll
automatic
also
first down for the Mustangs.
Move them up.
Any way the
10
Mustangs can get it, they will certainly take it.
It's a huge 15-yard penalty. And that will give the Mustangs a first down. So the ball will be on the 26-yard line now. 1st and 10, 1:28 remaining in the half, 7-7. We are here in North Hills, broadcasting on Martelli Field. And there's a snap to Thomas. Thomas scrambles to buy some time. He will run, and he will carry a guy a couple of yards, but will get tackled.
Morgan
He
not
was
looking
tackled,
too
so
happy.
the clock will remain running as we approach 1 minute here. The Mustangs don't look to be in any hurry to get to the line.
They want to bring that
see an
clock down.
attempt. We could see a field goal attempt with Jake Chapla coming up soon. The clock keeps ticking away. He has hit field goals from this distance before. 2nd down and 10. 45 seconds remaining in the half. 7-7 your score.
Twins.
And there'll be a snap to Coxon, who will keep it. And he will get
Number 8, Nicholas Coxon on the keeper.
maybe 3.
Brought down by number 56.
Obviously,
play.
it appears that the Mustangs are routing the ball, running out the clock, at least attempting to get good field position for a kick going into the second half. Like as I mentioned, 10-7.
Plum.
There's a timeout called by Plum. They will stop the clock. They were running the ball. We thought they may have been running the clock down to rely on the leg of Jake Chapla, but they instead call a timeout here with 35 seconds. This is their second of the half. They still have one more. North Hills has 2.
To the North Hills Sports Hall of Fame.
The score 7-7 here.
Rhonda K. Bordrin, Tim White, and Rich S. Wine.
North Hills student section hasn't been a factor that much since the first quarter, where you could hear them on the TV at home. They've since remained quiet since the kick return touchdown by Kevin Brown. The Rowdy Rooters have also remained quiet,
You can hear a pin drop up at the Rowdy Rooters.
as everybody's eyes are on the Mustangs offense to see what they are going to do here, as this next play could dictate what's going to happen in the half.
Looks like the Mustangs are going for a pass here.
Goodland out there.
4 wide receivers out. Matt Goodland in at quarterback. Nick Coxon behind him. They will throw. He will throw to Ashton Teeter, who makes a nice catch and will get out of bounds.
Beautiful catch.
And that is huge. North Hills had 3 guys wrapped on him, but Ashton Teeter will find a way to get out of bounds, and that will stop the clock. They did not get the first down, however, and it will be 4th and a short 2. And Jake Chapla will come out to attempt the field goal and send the Mustangs into halftime with a lead.
That was a beautiful catch made in almost double coverage between 2 players on the defense. Got out of bounds, stopped the clock, giving Jake time.
So the clock stops at 27 seconds. 25-yard field goal here. Patrick Crossy, 2 holds. You can hear the crowd start to liven up here. And there's the kick. It is up, and it is good. So Jake Chapla makes this a 10-7 game for the Mustangs. We're here at Martelli Stadium. Your Mustangs now lead at 10-7 with 22 seconds remaining in the half.
I wonder what Plum is going to do here. Far kick maybe. Get 1 return, and we'll see if North Hills either tries to go for 1 more play or if they'll just take the knee and try to start it off again in the second half.
Well, one thing interesting that we have seen, Jake Chapla, of course, usually hits the end zone. He has not in this game, although the North Hills return man, Nick Santucci, had a foot in the end zone, but they let him return it and ended up in a fumble. North Hills tried to do a short kick, and it ended up giving Kevin Brown a lot of room to return it for a touchdown. And then, of course, you saw the Mustangs drive there, and that is to get the 3 points, and that is how they now have a 10-7 lead here with 22 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
No doubt that Chapla could kick the ball into the end zone.
Yes, we've seen him do it on almost every single kickoff last year. We saw him do it a lot last week. We have not seen it here. You can hear the student section start to try and pump up the crowd. North Hills, something interesting, as 2 cheerleaders dressed up as Indians. You do not see much mascots in high school anymore.
Yeah, dressing Plum cheerleaders up as Mustangs would not get
Great
over
idea.
as well.
Great
as
idea.
Dressing North Hills up as Indians.
So the kicking team will set up. Number 99, great number by the way, Jake Chapla, will get ready to kick, and here it comes. And this
Bomb
one
by
will be long and will be caught at the 2-yard line. Santucci will return. He has some room, and he will break a tackle. He will break another tackle, and he will get down to the 30-yard line. There's a fumble on the play. It looks as though they're gonna say the ground caused it and give the ball toward North Hills. The Mustangs thought they had another fumble by Santucci on the kick return. And that will put them in the field goal range with 9 seconds left here in the half. It looks like the offense will take the field. They still have 2 timeouts remaining. Santucci looks to have gotten a little bit razzled on that last play, and he will come off.
I definitely think that the past few years, Plum has been spoiled with the luxury of having good kickers. North Hills and other football teams do not exactly have that luxury, so we'll see how that plays out if they do decide to kick a field goal.
Santucci is leaning over a trash can on the sideline as North Hills will throw. Will be incomplete.
Dylan Whiteman completely wrecked the quarterback.
32, Bryce Walker.
I'll say pass, falls incomplete.
And referee explaining something to the coach. 5 seconds left here in the half. And Santucci will come back onto the field along with Jake Elizad, their starting senior quarterback, who, and this may sound familiar to a quarterback here at Plum, started his first game last week as a senior, played very well in that game. Sounds like quarterback we know is Matt Goodwin, who had a pair of touchdowns. And Jake Elizad had 3. And it looks like there will be a timeout called by North Hills. So they will have 1 remaining here with 5 seconds left in the half. We have not seen their kicker. This will be a long field goal. The ball is on the 26-yard line. So it'll be a 40-plus yard field goal attempt from here. There are not many kickers in the WPIAL that can make this. We heard Nolan mention earlier how lucky Plum has been to have kickers like, of course, NFL punter Pat McAfee, arguably the best punter in the league and the highest paid punter in the history of the NFL. And the teams will come back onto the field. They look like they will kick the field goal here. That is number 27.
Ball on the 26-yard line.
Jake Snyder, 43-yard field goal.
That is not an easy field goal in any respect. Also lined up as far right as you could be. The angle and the distance are certainly going to play a factor.
And there's a high snap, and they will keep it. They will throw, and it will be intercepted by Coxon. Coxon will break a tackle.
Flag on the play.
And he will break another. There's a flag down, and he will be thrown out of bounds.
Time has expired. There is a flag on the play.
There is no time left here in the half. There is a flag. We will wait to see what this call is and if it will extend the half. If not, the Mustangs will go into halftime, the 10-7 lead, and the Mustangs are heading to their locker room. So, at the end of the first half, your Mustangs lead this one 10-7 here at Martelli Stadium. We will bring you both marching bands coming up. Your Plum Mustang marching band will be followed, of course, by the home teams, the North Hills Indians.
What a beautiful night for football.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud to present the Plum Senior High School Mustang Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mrs. Bethany Lloyd, accompanied by assistant directors Mr. Joe Joyce and Mr. Brandon Miller. Color guard instructors are Samantha Passarola and Christine Alley. Dance team instructors are Alice Stanishevsky and Michaela Furchog. Majorette instructor is Vicki Rossler. Put on your bedazzled jumpsuits, grease back that hair, and throw out those sideburns. We hope you can't help falling in love with the Mustangs' 2015 show, Elvis. To quote Elvis himself, some people tap their feet, some people snap their fingers, and some people sway back and forth. I just sort of do them all together, I guess. Watch the band and the band front march, spin, dance, and play as we perform C.C. Ryder and Burnin' Love in this next movement. as they take a stay at the Heartbreak Hotel. We hope you love dancing to that jailhouse rock, you hound dogs. In our final movement, we hit you with Elvis's classic of Hound Dog, Love Me Tender, and Jailhouse Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has just left the building. Once again, it is my great pleasure to introduce the band of pride, tradition, and excellence, the award-winning North Hills High School marching band, led on the field by drummer Jim Maria Clay. The decade was the 80s. The hair was big, the colors were neon, and all the ladies jazzercised to the TV. Picture that TV in that well-known show, Saturday Night Live. See if you can join the band and dance like Paul and Kevin to the Paul Simon's great hit, You Can Call Me In. Then dust off that boombox and surf through the channels with the North Hills Brain. And see if you can recognize any of the popular hits from that era. Please don't mind the band as we pull out some of our favorite games while we jam away to the classic hits of the 80s. We conclude our 80s show with a popular 80s ballad, Hard to Say I'm Sorry. In 1982, Hard to Say I'm Sorry was a Billboard Hot 100 #1 hit that we have picked to end the radio surfing. Sit back and finish rekindling those memories of the 80s to the beautiful and melodic sounds of Chicago's Hard to Say I'm Sorry.
And we are back here after a great performance by both marching bands, and especially like to thank the North Hills Marching Band, who was one of the more impressive ones we will ever see. Award-winning band, as you probably heard them on the PA speaker. See, now joining us, of course, is Dylan Fantone, who was behind the camera a lot for the first half. Dylan, what have your thoughts been on the half?
I think Plum's running the ball really well, but I think they should pass more. and North Hills is definitely running the ball really well. Plum cannot stop their running back not very well.
Nick Santucci having a great game for them. We have some first half statistics here coming up, but first we would go to our celebrity birthdays. Dylan, would you like to do the honors?
Ludacris just turned 38.
Score update. Currently at the half. Pine Richland 21.
Paul Heyman doing 50. Jacoby Ellsbury, the Yankees center fielder, used to play for the Boston Red Sox. He turns 32 today. Ed Reed, retired safety. Of course, all of you know who he is. Played for the Ravens for a number of years. He's 37. Tom Landry, Hall of Fame coach of the Dallas Cowboys, who died back in 2000. He would have turned a very, very old age. He was born all the way back in 1924 here. Mike Moustakas, the third baseman for the Kansas City Royals, turns 27, one of my favorite players. Have him on my fantasy baseball team. And now this day in history, of course, the one event that everybody knows, it is September 11th, 2001. We were not old enough to remember what happened back then.
For those of you who don't know, Logan is my brother, and we actually shared the same experience on that day 14 years ago. I don't know how much Logan remembers or how much Logan has been told, but I feel like I was there. I feel like I could recall all the moments in my head. I've been told so much about that day and its implications that I really do feel like, I mean, obviously I was 2, 3 years old. I don't remember quite well, but it paints a picture in your head. You know, you hear people talk about it, you see these images on the television, and it really will never be forgotten. And we will continue on this day every year in the future to honor those who gave their lives. We're trying to rescue those and could not come out alive. We give our thanks and appreciation to them, and we really do respect the firemen, the patrons who brought down that fight in Shanksville, the police officers, and really everybody, the first responders. And it really makes you think beyond football. You know, it really makes you think about the country and the history that we've had and how that relates to everything.
Just to reiterate, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families that suffered a tragic loss on that date. And we would like to thank any first responders out there.
North Hills dressing up patriotic tonight for this day.
Well, those who came from the Mustang School showing their support, dressed up in military gear over on their sideline. Now on to some first half statistics. The Mustangs just 30 yards rushing on 12 carries. Something we've talked about is how good their run game has been all of last year and this year. It has not been able to get going so far this game. Nicholas Coxon is leading the team in rushes with 11 yards on 2 carries. His long was a 9. Of course, the Mustangs got that touchdown on the kick return, and that was what tied the game up after North Hills was able to pound the ball in on Nick Santucci, who is having a great day. 16 carries in the first half alone, 66 yards rushing. His long was a 22, and he has the lone touchdown for North Hills. That was the first touchdown of the game, so made it 7-0. Of course, then Plum followed with the kick return for the touchdown, and then Jake Chappell hit a nice field goal to make this a 10-7 ball game. Mustangs have Jaleel Bay and Kevin Brown back to return. Number 16, Aaron Collins, will be kicking off for North Hills. To hear the marching band start to play, we've talked about how good they are. We talked about how good this atmosphere is. And now we will see the second half get underway.
Seven Nation Army will lead the ball into the air.
And here is the kick. It will be short again. This is what the Mustangs got a touchdown on last time. Jaleel Bay will return, and he will get to the 28-yard line.
Jaleel Bay
And the Mustangs get nice field position here to start it off.
Number 4, Cam Taylor.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. 11:55 remaining in the third quarter. Mustangs lead this one 10-7. Coming out as quarterback will be, Corey Thomas. Actually, it'll be Kevin Brown in a wildcat formation who will run, and he will keep it, and he will get open, and he will break a tackle. He will juke out another man. He'll get down to the 40-yard line, and there is a pile of people trying to bring him down, and they won't. And Kevin Brown just hit a player, and there is a flag on the field.
Little push.
It looks like he
Number 31.
maybe punched the number 35 for North Hills, Joey Tomiska, that was.
Gave him a little elbow after the play.
And that will be a costly penalty for the Mustangs on what was a great run from the wildcat formation. And that will back them up.
Dead ball. Personal
Obviously a personal foul.
Morgan out by the 40.
You can hear the students section start to get back in this one. We heard a lot of them in the first quarter, not a lot in the second quarter.
Now when you're
The
playing,
ball will go back to the 26-yard line. The ref talking to the North Hills team, making sure that they don't try and retaliate. And Corey Thomas now in at quarterback. Dylan Whiteman behind him. And it will be 1st down and 12. Ball on the 26-yard line. 11:42 remaining here in the third quarter.
Correction, 1st and 10.
First and 10, my apologies. They have 1st and 12 up on the scoreboard. Will be 1st and 10. Hand it off to Whiteman. There's a flag on the field. Corey Thomas will actually keep it. Very, very nice fake. Faked out even me, and I'm a broadcaster. There's a flag on the play.
It looks to be a false start on Kevin Brown.
Is Tyler Wilson. There's a false start. And it will again be 1st down. And they actually don't. They will push him back. It'll be 1st down and 15. It'll actually be a legal shift on the Mustangs. So it'll be 1st down and 15. 11:28 remaining here in the third quarter. The Mustangs lead this one 10-7. Ball on the 21-yard line. Corey Thomas in the quarterback. Kevin Brown will motion over to the other sides, and they will hand it off to Dylan Whiteman. And he will get down to the 29-yard line. This time, they will hand it off. Corey Thomas will fake to run with it, and it did catch a couple of North Hills Indians offline there.
Brought down by number 1, Nick Sanders.
That was actually
As well as number 35.
Nicholas Carlosano, running back.
glad to see him back. He looked pretty good on that. Pretty good on that play.
It doesn't look like his knee's been bothering him at all.
No, his knee is not. Of course, he is wearing a knee brace. We see that. He will remain in. We've talked about him getting the ball today, back from injury. They will hand it off to him, and he will get another nice gain here. And it looks like it will be 3rd down now and 3.
You can expect to see Nick as more of a power pushed up the middle type of back than Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown tending to flare on the outside. Nick likes to push the ball up the middle and likes to really put the defense on their heels.
Nick Carlosano and Kevin Brown will both be off the field. The Mustangs will go into their wildcat formation with Nicholas Coxon at quarterback. He is the leading rusher for the Mustangs coming into this half. Unofficial leading rusher, and he will keep it, and he will break a tackle, and he will just barely miss it by will be about a yard short. And we will have a 4th down and 1. But the Mustangs backed up in their own end. It is unlikely that they will go for it here, as you see Jake Chappell trot onto the field. So an unsuccessful drive by the Mustangs to start off the half. But of course, they still lead this one 10-7. Back to return will be number 1, Nick Santucci, who is having a very big day, we mentioned, on the ground. And Jake Chapla will muff the punt, but he will get it off. And Nick Santucci calls for the catch, but he will drop it, and Ashton Teeter will make the tackle. That is not the first time we've seen him do that. He called for the fair catch in the second quarter and dropped it. Of course, there was no one from Plum around him to make the tackle, but he will do it again here. And the ball will be at the 32-31, my apologies. .9:14 remaining in the third quarter. North Hills coming out for their first drive of the half. 10-7 your score. And there's the snap. They will hand it off to Santucci, who will get maybe a yard. Dylan's saying 2.
It looks to be 2.
Coming into the first drive here on the second half by the Mustangs, you can see that Morgan has certainly adjusted to those poor rushing yards that Logan had mentioned before the half started. Adjusting with Nick, maybe we're going to see a little more passes, a little more run up the middle. We're going to see what works, what doesn't work, and we're going to attack that in the second half.
Now, last week they had 201 rushing yards versus Hempfield. Jaleel Bay was the leading rusher on that one, with 87, and there is the snap, and they will throw. He does not have a man open, and he will try and scramble, but it looks like he may lose a yard there.
LCN on the keeper.
As he tried to create nothing into something and ends up running out of bounds.
By number 62. Chris Efforts.
Interestingly enough, North Hills MSA Sports has ranked 9th in Quad A Whip Mules, Plum 10th right behind. So you can certainly imagine, Logan, that the winner of this game would likely move up in the rankings, which would be exciting to see next week, which team can pull out the victory and hopefully move up.
Last year, North Hills got off to a great start, 4-0. Of course, that included a 17-14 win against the Mustangs. But that win was not an easy one. So you see the snap, and he will try and run up the middle, and he will be tackled about the 1 yard line. That was number 8, Jake Elizat, the senior quarterback. We talked about him earlier. And it will be 4th down and long, so they will come out and punt. Now, we were talking about the last year's North Hills Plum game, 17-14 the score. It sounds very close, but for 3 quarters, it was not. The end of the second quarter, North Hills put up 17 points. And they went into halftime with the 17-point lead. And about midway through the fourth quarter, still leading 17-14, the Mustangs came back as we see the punt to Patrick Crossy. He will not be able to return this one, and it will bounce to the about 30.5 yard line. They will put it at the 31. But the Mustangs, in that fourth quarter, North Hills Plum put up 14 points and made it a very, very close game in 1 quarter. As last year we saw, they were one of those teams that really turned it on in the second half. And we're hoping the Mustangs offense can do it again here, although they do lead this game 10-7. Corey Thomas, number 11, in a quarterback. Back behind him, number 7, Jaleel Bay. We see Kevin Brown, we see Ashton Teeter lined up towards us.
Looks like they're going pass here. No.
It will be Corey Thomas will keep it, and he will get a nice gain. Looks to be 6 yards on the carry. So it'll be 2nd down and 4 coming up. 7:20 remaining now in the third quarter. Ball on the 41 yard line. 10-7 your score.
2nd down and 3.
They gave him 7. It looked like to be a little bit of a generous spot, as we had 6 up here. but nonetheless, it will go in the Mustangs' favor as we get under 7 minutes here. 10-7 your score. Corey Thomas still in at quarterback. And he will hand it off to Jaleel Bay, and North Hills Indians would be all over him. That was number 36, John Hodnick, with the tackle.
Looks like they lost one on that play.
Yes, it does look like they did lose about a yard, maybe 2 on the play.
Refs are spotted at the 40.
So it'll be spot on the 40, 3rd down and 4 now, 6:25 remaining in the quarter. Corey Thomas in at quarterback, Jaleel Bay behind him. And they will throw, and it'll be to Kevin Brown behind the line, who will drag a man, but will only get about a yard. And it will be 4th down and 3. And the Mustangs.
Flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play.
About the 47-yard line, the flag was thrown. Not near the end of the play there. Looks like something outside of Kevin Brown's area.
The Mustangs offense remains on the field, but they are backing up. The ref is talking to North Hills coach Pat Carey.
Walking over to Matt Morgan as one of the other refs.
Holding against Plum.
There will be a holding on Plum. The penalty is declined, so we will have 4th down and 3 as the punt team for the Mustangs come onto the field.
I'll tell you what a confidence booster it is to have a special teams. And Jacob Chaplin been working on his punting. He can really bury the ball far back. And that field position really gives the defense confidence, gives them more assurance, and ultimately it gives them the mindset that if they do give up a big yard play, it is not the end of the world.
And there's a long punt by Chapla. Nick Santucci will fair catch it, and he will catch it this time.
As a student of Plum High School, it's very cool to see the transition that Plum has made from a football team with little respect, and slowly each year they get better. You hear lots of talk about the improvements. Matt Morgan obviously coming in, really showing the boys how to play some football. It's exciting, lots of energy at Plum, lots of talk about the football team doing big things.
Well, back in 2013, the Mustangs came into the last week with a 25 consecutive losing streak. They ended that one, and then in 2014 they made the playoffs for the first time since 2007, I believe.
As a broadcaster especially, it's a lot easier to commentate on games that are 10-7 going into the second half than games that are a blowout on either side. So it's keeping us on our toes up here in the booth.
Looks to be a timeout right now.
Looks to be a
timeout. Appears to be North Hills as they go over plays to run on their offense.
Do not have confirmation on the timeout. For whatever the stoppage was, they are back in action now as North Hills offense will get set. And Plum Mustangs defense will get set. Patrick Crossy and Nick Coxon back playing safety.
Just
and there's this snap, and it will be a long throw. And just out of the reach of Plum defender Patrick Crossy. That was intended for number 32, Bryce Walker. We saw him a little bit in the first half as he is their leading receiver on the day with 2 catches for 26 yards. The second leading receiver, and this should come as no surprise, with also with 2 catches and 22 yards, Nick Santucci. North Hills Indians will get set. There's the snap. He will hand it off to Santucci. Santucci will break a tackle, but then get tackled, and will get to about the 30. No, the 20. My apologies, the 28-yard line.
By number 85, Zachary Nolan.
There's Zachary Nolan with the tackle.
Gain of 4, 3rd down and 6.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 coming up. Ball on the 28-yard line. 5:24 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 10-7 score Mustangs. And that quarterback is senior Jake Elizad. And there's the snap. He will throw to Nick Santucci. Santucci will get tackled immediately, and that will be a loss of about 4. We just saw them gain 4, so it will be 4th down and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line.
Little question.
Actually, they will be a little bit generous and give them the 28-yard line, but it doesn't matter as it will be a punt for North Hills. Patrick Crossy to return.
Patrick Crossy at about the 34-yard line.
And it's a low snap, but the punter will get it off, and it is a long punter. Will take a very favorable North Hills bounce. It will go to the 26-yard line.
North Hills having problems, it seems, at their center position, snapping the football. That's 2 special teams errors. The first one resulting down in almost looked like a fake punt. Punter tried to throw the ball, little success, interception. That was on a kick, my bad, kicker. And there was that high snap on the offense. Quarterback could not maintain possession, but he fell on it.
Or what Nolan is referring to is the almost lost ball back in the 1st quarter. And of course, what would have tied this game up ended up being a high snap. As Nick Coxon will get the snap. No problems on that one, and he will get a couple of yards here. We talked about earlier when Mr. Barat was on the headphones about how good this Mustangs offensive line is. Some of these players extremely talented, including Division I prospect, number 71, Jake Tessick.
Certainly our run game we have established hasn't been quite as good as it could have been perhaps. Not to very much fault on the offensive line.
Nick Coxon in the Wildcat, we have seen a lot of him there this game. We did not see that last week, and he will again keep it, but he will get nothing. And that will actually be a loss of 3 on the play.
Another outside run.
So it will be 3rd down and 10 with 3:22 remaining in the quarter. 10-7 lead for the Mustangs. Ball will be on the 26-yard line once again. As we see Corey Thomas come in at quarterback. He has been the main quarterback today. We saw a little bit of Matt Goodland. Matt Goodland played a lot last week. And we've seen Nick Coxon get the snaps in the Wildcat formation and keep it pretty much every time. Corey Thomas will throw. He has a man open. That is Teeter. And that will be a 1st down for your Mustangs. A gain of 12 on the play. That will be to the 38-yard line with 2:42 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Ashton Teeter, one of the tallest players on the Mustangs. Doctors have him at 6'3", alongside Zach Nolan. His height can certainly be utilized in this game. He's a deep threat. You see there a gain of about 10, 12 yards, and ultimately, that's the receiver that Plum needs.
Well, last week Ashton had a 70-yard touchdown.
There you go.
And it will be a handoff to Nicholas Carlosano, and he will get about 5 on the play, and it looks to be 2nd down and 5. Ball on the 43-yard line.
You can definitely tell that the Mustangs are not having a very easy transition from the team that they had last year, losing their seniors, to this year. Some of their offensive weapons are now gone. Philip Marr, a wide receiver, is now gone. Of course, Will Fuhr. Their pass game has not been as strong. Still have a lot of senior running backs this year. That's why their run game has been utilized more than their pass game, I believe.
Nicholas Coxon in the Wildcat formation. He will fake the handoff and keep it, and he will get the 1st down. A nice run there that will put them at the 50-yard line, a little bit in front of the 50-yard line, to be exact. So we'll say ball is on the 49, 1st and 10. Now 3rd quarter. Nick Sanducci, we saw him a lot on the offensive side of things. He was the one that made that stop, a two-way player, two-way dynamic player on both offense and defense. 1:35 remaining now in the 3rd quarter. 10-7, Mustangs lead it. Nick Coxon will again keep it, and he will again make a nice run. And this looks to be maybe a yard short of the 1st down. So it'll be 2nd down and 1.
Weather really hasn't been much of a factor at all in this game. It's a comfortable enough temperature, not a lot of wind, no rain, obviously no extreme weather conditions. It's just a good old-fashioned game of football.
You cannot ask for a much better night than this. Clear skies, great atmosphere. And Nick Coxon will get the snap and drop it, but he will recover and he will get back to where the line was.
Nicholas Coxon on the keeper. Brought down by number 7.
So with 40 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, the Mustangs lead this one 10-7. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Ball on the 41-yard line.
Someone that we haven't quite seen as utilized as possibly could have been was first-team All-Conference tight end Zach Nolan. He's been somewhat silent in this game, and I hope that we could utilize his strength more, maybe establish more of a passing game.
It looked like Zach was actually hurt there on that last play.
Really?
He was limping off the field.
That's not good for the Mustangs.
Corey Thomason, a quarterback behind him, is Nick Carlosano, who will get the handoff, and he will get tackled immediately. He will try and muscle his way to the 1st down, but he will not get it. It looks like the Mustangs are complaining that a North Hills player ripped off their helmet. That will be the helmet of number 73, Keyshawn Smith, who will have to come off now. And with the 3rd quarter ending, be 4th and 1 for the Mustangs. When we come back, your score, your number 8 ranked Mustangs 10, North Hills Indians 7.
Going in
Joining us at the 20-yard line.
4th and 1 in such a close game. We have not quite in field goal range. Logan, do you think that they're going to try to punt the ball, or do you think that they're going to go for it, risk it on 4th and 1, attempt to get in the field goal range?
Well, in a 10-7 game, real close game, I would not try to take any chances here, and I would just try and put the ball in the corner, try and get them pinned within the 10-yard line. Jake Chappell has a strong leg.
I agree.
Joining us again, who was on the camera for the last quarter, Nino Fischetti, who's now me, Logan Carney, my brother Nolan Carney, Tyler Wilson, and Nino. Nino, thanks for coming back on the microphone with us.
No problem, guys. What I have noticed whenever I was filming, the running game is very, very strong for the Mustangs. I think there were a couple big stops by North Hills, but I think if the Mustangs keep this running game up, we can push this through the 4th quarter with the Mustangs W.
Yes, that 3rd quarter running game led by Nick Coxon, and returning from injury much shorter than expected, Nicholas Carlosano. We did not see much of the Mustangs, much talked about offense.
It looks like the Mustangs are going to go for it here.
Yes, you are right. The Mustangs offense is taking the field.
That is a bold move, but as you could see, they've been really pounding the ball, really running the ball strong on offense. And although they have not gotten a lot of yards, I don't think 1 yard is out of the question. And let's see what happens here.
So Nick Coxon will take a snap in a Wildcat formation, and the Mustangs will have to call a timeout as there looks to be some confusion.
Timeout.
Number 33, Dakota Sunday, was supposed to be on the field.
13 seconds left. Obviously, time was not an issue on that last play, but we'll see what the Mustangs do. Perhaps that they're going into the huddle, change their game plan a little bit. I'd still think that we'd expect to see a run, as they showed run. This late in the game, when you're up 3 points, and against a team that has a strong running, has a strong passing, and they've shown that you're going to need all the points you can get. I don't disagree with this decision to run the ball, but it certainly is going to be a make or break for this team. The student section at North Hills, very prominent in most games, has not been that much of a factor in this game. As a matter of fact, there really hasn't been anything that's been distracting these boys from football.
So it'll be 4th down and 1. Nick Coxon back, and he will take the snap. He will get a lot of room, and he will dive over for the 1st down. And what a great play as we are pumping our fist here in the booth. And that will be a 1st down for the Mustangs, moving the change.
Running game is huge. Once again, Nick Coxon in the Wildcat formation, diving over the defensive line. The risks that these running backs are willing to take just to get this W is very critical to this Mustangs offense and the way that they run.
And this crowd is stunned. They are now very, very quiet. This great offensive line looks to continue the run game. Corey Thomas will hand it off to Nicholas Carlosano, who will get a -1 on that carry. We've seen a lot of him in this 3rd quarter. We've seen a lot of Nick Coxon, and those two have been looking to reestablish a great run game that we did not see much in the 1st half. So it'll be 2nd down and 11-16 remaining in the 4th quarter. 10-7 Mustangs lead it. This will be a huge win for the Mustangs if they do in fact hold on. Corey Thomas will throw. He has Teeter. Teeter will get by a man, and he will get down inside the 30-yard line. And another 1st down for the Mustangs. 11 minutes exactly on the clock. Moving the change, and it will be on the 28-yard line.
Something that I've always noticed about Matt Morgan is his ability to adjust. As the game progresses, it's his ability to see what he's doing, see what's working, adjust, fix it. He goes with the outside pass there to Teeter, who hasn't been utilized very much in this game, as their run game hasn't been very strong, and that is a quick gain, catches North Hills off guard in 2nd down.
And we're on to Nick Coxon. I apologize in the last play. I was confused by the line judges who stopped at the 28, but it was actually on the 20-yard line, and it will be a 3-yard run. So it'll be on the 17-yard line now. So 2nd down and 7, approaching 10.5 minutes here in the game. 10-7 lead.
The Mustangs are now running the Wildcat with Kevin Brown.
As we've seen Nick Coxon a lot in the Wildcat, a little bit of Kevin Brown. Will be a bad snap, but Kevin Brown will get it. There's a flag on the play, and Kevin Brown will try and get at least somewhat back to the line. There'll be a loss of 4 on the play, ball at the 21-yard line, 10:15 on the clock.
It looks like,
but it looks like it will go back even further. As you just heard Nino say, a block in the back is what it looks like.
Wildcats relying so much on a run game. It's clear that Matt Morgan does not have too much faith in his quarterbacks. Hopefully, as the season progresses, the quarterbacks can gain more experience. Maybe Corey can gain a little bit more of a football knowledge, and maybe we can see these quarterbacks develop as players, as athletes, and as decision makers, and hopefully we can fix this issue that's certainly been an issue. That's a holding on Plum.
Yeah. Once again, ladies, Corey Thomas is a sophomore, and he is getting a good amount of varsity time as quarterback. He has 3 more years to grow and to get his football experience.
The Mustangs are looking to pass here.
And Corey Thomas in empty backfield, 5 wide receivers set, but he will keep it, and he will have some room, and he will get a lot of grounds back.
Thomas on the keeper.
Two very different
about
quarterbacks.
The 26-yard line, and it will be 3rd down and long.
As Corey Thomas gave a little gesture to the silent North Hills student section.
3rd down and 16.
3rd down and 16. You just heard the PA announce. 9:30 left in the game. 10-7 Mustang leads.
Thomas comes out again in an empty set.
And it's
along
using
with
shotgun.
Five receivers here.
In shotgun, empty set, 5 wide receivers.
3rd and 16.
There's the snap. He will throw. He will overthrow. It was number 18.
That would be
Jason Hubner.
I would not be surprised if they do indeed try to kick a field goal here with one of the best kickers in our section, Jake Chapla.
4th and 16. They will indeed elect to kick. 9:09 left in the game. Mustangs lead 10-7. Jake Chapla 1 for 2 on field goals today. Looks to make this a 13-7 lead.
Jake Chapla. Patrick Rossi holding for Jake Chapla. At about.
And there's the snap, and it will be
blocked. Caught by North Hills.
By number 6 on North Hills, and he will get to the 25-yard line. And that was a huge blow to the Mustangs. Great play by North Hills.
One of the only faults we've actually seen today in the Mustangs special teams, which is usually the front runner of this team, something that we've praised, something that we look highly on, just couldn't block, couldn't keep the kicker, giving them enough time there.
As you can see, Nolan, they really crowded the Mustangs' left line on that kickoff, and it was just too much for the left side to handle.
Jake Eliza back in at quarterback. He will keep it, and he will look to throw. I apologize. He actually handed it off. Really good play there. Did not fold the defense, as it will be a loss of 2 on the play.
Mike Simboli, nice read on that play, seeing that it is indeed a handoff. Fooled us up here in the booth. Can't get past the Mustang defense. Can't get past Mike Simboli. Excellent job reading that play, deciding what to do, and capitalizing on that decision.
And the lights are on for North Hills as they take the ball. The Rowdy Rooters showing their support up there in the corner. There'll be 4 wide receivers. And he will almost drop the snap, but he will throw, pump fakes, and he runs outside. He will be wrapped up, and the ball is loose. And the ball is still loose, and the Mustangs recovered. The Mustangs get the ball right back after a blocked field goal, as we are high-fiving each other up here in the booth. Ball will be on the 15-yard line. I did not see who recovered the ball.
It was number 20, Dylan Whiteman.
Number 20, Dylan Whiteman. We saw a lot of him last week on both sides of the ball. We've seen some of him on the offensive side of the ball in short yards, and we've seen a lot of him on defense, and he has been a key player so far as the Mustangs get the ball back. First down and 10 on the 15-yard line, and they are entering the Heinz red zone. Get your thick and rich ketchup at your local Giant Eagle. Corey Thomas in at quarterback. We have seen mostly him today, along with a little bit of Nick Cox and a little bit of Matt Goodland earlier. He will keep, and he will run to the outside, and he will turn nothing into something and get about 4-yard line.
Something that we're seeing from this Mustang team is that special teams are helping the defense and the offense. Offense and defense are helping the special teams, vice versa. This is a football team. This is chemistry. This is a football team where players play on both sides of the ball and they help each other out, make up for their mistakes. This is an exciting team to watch, and you can certainly tell that this team really knows how to get back in the game, put the momentum on their side, and push forward, and that's given them a lot of success this year.
Nick Coxon back in at quarterback in the Wildcat. He will keep, as he usually does, and he will run, and he will break a tackle, and he will be about a yard short of the first. They are now within 10 yards. 7:10 left in the game. 10-7 lead by the Mustangs. 3rd down and 1.
The Mustangs are bringing senior quarterback Matthew Goodland back in.
Yes, Matt Goodland back in the game. Good call.
We got
Tyler Wilson.
Goody football in the game.
And he will hand it off to Dylan Whiteman. And Whiteman might have got the first down. No, it looks like they are
convert.
going to give him nothing. So it'll be 4th down and 1. Ball on the 7-yard line.
I think the Stangs should go for it.
I agree. You've definitely seen, as this game has progressed, we got two very different types of quarterbacks in Goodland and in Thomas. Goodland, more of your NFL Ben Roethlisberger type quarterback, where Thomas is more of your Russell Wilson run. He can do a lot more, and it's very interesting to see the contrast between two different types of quarterbacks playing two different, same position, two different ways.
Nicholas Coxon in a quarterback now, a Wildcat, and he will run. He will trip over his own man, and that will be a turnover. But it is a turnover on the 8-yard line. So if North Hills is going to tie this game up with 5:58 remaining, they are going to have to drive far down the field.
92 yards to be exact.
And what a huge fumble recovery. We'll go back to that. Is even though the Mustangs were not able to get any points on the boards, it is now a long drive for North Hills if they want to tie this game up. So under 6 minutes now, and there's a snap. Elizad will keep, and Elizad will get nothing.
Now North Hills really has a chance to put a devastating blow on Plum. They score a touchdown, 2-3 minutes left in the game, momentum on their side. Plum being down 4 points, we need a touchdown in order to make a comeback. That would be a tough situation to put Plum in. Really put a lot of pressure on their offense, who hasn't shown too much in this game, only scoring 10 points. Obviously 3 of them on a kick. Nina, what do you think? How do you think Plum needs to respond to the threat that North Hill poses on offense?
This should very much rely on the inside defensive line.
Jake Elizad in, 5 wide receivers, empty backfield. He will throw, will be a quick pass, and that is number 15 for North Hills. Owen Davis, we've seen a little bit of him.
So I believe that this entirely depends on the inside part of the defense, the core defense. The core defense, if they do decide to utilize their running back, the defense needs to make those stops before he can make the cuts. And if we do decide to pass, we do have a pocket passer here, so they need to get back there as soon as possible.
Elizad in a quarterback, 5 wide receiver, empty backfield set. He will keep it, and he will run, and he will get maybe 2 yards on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. And at this moment, we like to say that this broadcast of Plum Mustangs football and all other broadcasts of the Plum Mustangs Sports Network are copyrighted for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the express written consent of Plum TV and the Plum Mustangs Sports Network is strictly prohibited.
Nicely said, Logan. Beautiful.
5 wide receiver, empty backfield set. Jake Elizad will throw. He will scramble to the side, and he will complete a pass that is number 4, Cameron Taylor, who will get the first down and then some, down to about the 40-yard line. And it will be 1st down and 10 on the 40 with 4:16 remaining in this game. And we talked about how tough it is to drive on this Mustangs defense, especially a 92-yard drive. And North Hills unfortunately looks to be doing it right now. So 1st down and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. The clock is ticking as we get under 4 minutes here. 10-7, your score. Mustangs lead it.
We have another empty backfield here, but Eliza seems to be running. He will take
to
it.
number 30 of North Hills. That was Josh Gazika.
So we see 3 straight plays, 3 straight completions. Mustangs haven't seen a whole lot of the passing side of this North Hills offense. Struggling here. As they've ran the ball most of the time, they've got lots of threats on the running backs. Their offensive threats in the passing game have not been quite as utilized as they could have been. Mustangs struggling to make this adjustment. Let's hope Matt Morgan is talking to his boys right now, telling them what they need to do to stop this passing team. Tyler, or Nina, what do you think the Mustangs need to do in order to help prevent a field goal or a score from the passing team and special teams of North Hills?
I think we need to man up on defense. It does look like our corners are doing way too much work. It feels like we need to open up our defense and just get to the ball before the pass is made. I have a feeling that the defensive line will indeed shut this quarterback down. I have a lot of faith that the outside of this defensive line will be able to penetrate, and it will get Eliza down for loss of yards before the pass could be made.
First down and 10. 10-7 your score, 3:57 remaining. Eliza will keep, and Eliza will get a nice run. Looks to be 7 yards. So when we come back, it will be second down and 3. 3:45 remaining in the game, 10-7 score. They will actually give him 5 yards on the carry. Looks like he might have stretched the ball out there at the end, but they won't give it to him.
It's kind of odd to see in an empty set formation a quarterback taking a ball and just running it, just going with it, not looking for a pass, no little swing by a wide receiver or running back to take the handoff. Quarterback just going it with confidence, get a gain of about 5.
Again, we will see an empty backfield, 5 wide receiver set, and there's a completion up the middle to number 15, Owen Davis. We have seen a lot of him here on this drive. What we have not seen, but we have seen a lot of earlier in this game, was a run to Nick Santucci, and we have not seen him on this drive.
Almost every pass that has been completed on this drive have been short slants to the middle. That is where the linebackers need to come in, and they need to fill the gaps and make that play before the pass could be completed.
The Mustangs will put Patrick Crossy deep as they show blitz. It will blitz 4. There will be another completion to the middle, but there's another fumble, and the Mustangs with another recovery.
What a play. Breaking up that, waiting until he establishes the catch, breaking it up. Let's see if he actually did get the catch. We'll see what the ruling is, a fumble. Leaning over the booth as we are anticipating.
And Coach Pat Carey is not happy on that one, as they will roll it a fumble.
Fantastic play on the defense there. He saw that he had made the catch. He broke the ball out, allowing another person to come in, take the fumble. That is fantastic. That's what, 3 fumbles the Mustangs have caused today?
We believe it to be so. They caused a huge one that put North Hills back to their own 8-yard line. And now the Mustangs will take this one on the 27, first down and 10, 2:56. Coxon will keep it, and Coxon will get a nice run up the middle. He still isn't down. Another people wrapping him up, and they will stop the play. There's a late shove by Dylan Whiteman to knock down a North Hills player.
Morgan obviously trying to run the ball more, run down the clock as we have the lead. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left in the second half. Last quarter, we're really trying to run down the clock, get the ball downfield, pick up first downs on the run. That's the objective. Morgan knows that, the players know that, and that's what we're going to do.
2 minutes, 15 seconds coming up here to second down and 4 to go in the fourth quarter. 10-7 lead. And it will be another run, and Nick Carlosano will get the first down. We've seen a lot of him here coming back from injury and having a huge game, leading the Mustangs in rushing. And all of them have come here in the second half, where he has reestablished a great run game.
Chains have been moved, 1st and 10 Mustangs.
So the clock will start again now that the ball is set. College rules, of course, apply here. Under 2 minutes now. 10-7 your lead here. Mustangs, of course, winning it. First down and 10, fourth quarter. Ball on the 41-yard line. Matt Goodland in at quarterback. He will hand it off. It is Jaleel Bay who will make another great run, and the Mustangs are running it on the North Hills defense. And there will be a timeout called by North Hills.
What I see here from the Mustangs offense is great blocking by the offensive line. The offensive line has provided great holes for Bay, Brown, Coxon, and Carlosano. Great running combination to completely plow through, get their way into the secondary, and work their magic.
Yes, an offensive line that hasn't been living up to all of the expectations that they've had coming into the game is certainly proving that they can hang, they can play with the big dogs, the big defenses, and they're getting it done when it needs to get done. 10-7, special teams get you up 3, defense keeps you in the game, offense continues to run the time off the clock. Though they have not been big yardage hogs, they haven't made the big plays on offense, they've certainly been consistent, and they're certainly right now getting what needs to be done.
And the difference in special teams, as Nolan mentioned, has made this game. The Mustangs getting all 10 of their points on the way of special teams. Kick return for a touchdown and a field goal. And North Hills having a couple special teams mishaps as the Plum fans start a wave to 1:33 here remaining in the game. Ball on the 50-yard line. Goodland will hand it off to Jaleel Bay, who may have gotten that yards
It looks like
that
they're
they
going to move the
needed.
chains.
I'll tell you what, if there was a fantasy high school football league, I would want Plum Mustangs defense and special teams on mine. They'd be outscoring my quarterbacks. They've really done well this week. They've really shown what they have, and it hasn't just been Jacob Chapela with his incredible boot. It's been everybody on the special teams. They've been showing up. They've been running the ball. They've been making the big hits, not allowing a whole lot of yardage on the returns, and I'm really impressed with this Mustang special teams as well as the defense.
And they will indeed move the chains. 1:26 remaining.
I believe
there was a
that is-
timeout by North Hills. 10-7 lead on the Mustangs. Ball on the 49-yard line. 1st and 10 when we come back.
So Nino, I was wondering what your thoughts on the offense have been, some aspects that they need to improve. Obviously, their run game hasn't been as good as they need to, and I was just wondering what you think some keys to improve would be.
Some keys of improvement for the offensive line. I don't
Not just
see
the
that-
line, the whole offense as a whole.
Well, I want to start with the offensive line. I do not see that many problems with the offensive line. The offensive line is doing an incredible job opening up the gaps for our great running back combination. I like all of the diversity of this running game. I like the quickness of Brown and Bay. I like the toughness of Coxon and Carlosano. And I think the Wildcat formation is an incredible idea, which they are back in right now.
They are back in, but this time will be Nick Carlosano, who has not been in the Wildcat formations thus far. He will get the snap and he will keep it. He will run to the outside. He will push off a tackler and he will get a couple of yards. He will get knocked out of bounds, so that will stop the clock here on 1:19 seconds. So it'll be 2nd down and 8.
We sure have been talking a whole lot about Plum's offensive line this game. They've been good, they've played well, they usually play well, but the running backs have failed to utilize it as much as they could have. They've been running a lot of outside routes. They haven't been pushing up the middle like they could. I really think that if they utilize the offensive line more, their run game would have more success.
A lot of great players on that offensive line. Mike Simboli, Eric Trenz, Michael Sumiglia. My apologies, Michael Caragino. That'll be the handoff, number 7, Jaleel Bay, and they will get maybe a yard if anything. And there's a late play. There was a late hit by a North Hills player, and there will be a flag on the play. And the Mustangs look to be moving 10 yards.
No,
15.
it is on the Mustangs.
It is on the Mustangs.
Personal foul.
And it will be called on the Mustangs. This will back them up. It looks from up here as a North Hills player might have shoved the Mustangs, but
We have
it will be on the
1:12
Mustangs. So 1:12 remaining, and it will be 2nd and long here in the 4th quarter. 10-7 leads.
2nd and long is a bit of an understatement.
Matt Morgan does not look happy right now. Coach Morgan looks.
They really put the ball in an opportune spot for the Mustangs coming in. 2nd and 25. Looks a whole lot longer than that to the markers. We'll have to see what the Mustangs can pull out here.
Goodland in a quarterback, hopefully looking to get a pass here.
You see Goodland used as more of a passing quarterback. Thomas more of a running quarterback. Like I said, more of a college quarterback, more of a Russell Wilson type quarterback. Lots of weapons. Goodland more of a passing quarterback. And that's what they're going with.
Goodland under center.
3rd down and 25. Goodland in 1 minute, approaching under a minute here. He will hand it off to Kevin Brown, who will shake a tackle, he will get outside, and the clock will keep on ticking.
Obviously, Matt Morgan trying to run the clock out with these runs. They could have tried the long pass, or they could have ran the ball. They chose to run the ball, run the clock out. Really put pressure on North Hills, as they will probably not get the first down.
Well,
North Hills with their last timeout, stop the clock.
What that does on the run is North Hills will now be out of timeouts.
Exactly.
For a 58-second drive, and hopefully a long one given the leg of Jake Chapla. He, of course, is punting this year. We've seen Zach Nolan punt a lot last year, but it has been all Chappie on special teams. So 10-7 here, 58 seconds. It's crunch time here in the fourth quarter. The Mustang special teams, which has been the deciding factor in this game. All 10 points coming from the special teams. And of course, North Hills having a couple of mishaps on their special teams, where if they didn't, this would be a different ball game right now. But instead is a 10-7 lead. Nick Santucci back to return. Well, he is actually not. That
number
is
5,
number
Nathan Zimmerman.
5, Nathan Zimmerman. And Jake Chapla will punt. And there is the punt, and it is a long one. But Zimmerman will catch it immediately, and he will be able to return it, and he will step out of bounds at the 38-yard line.
You can't help but wonder why Santucci is not in the game. I don't see him. I'm looking for, up there he is. He returns to the game. He's not hurt. Perhaps they wanted to rest him, make sure he was good for this next drive. It's a big one.
This is the drive for the Mustangs right here. If we can stop the Indians, this would be a huge Mustang victory and a great way to start off the season at 2-0.
50 seconds remaining in the game. Mustangs lead at 10-7. You heard them talk about Santucci being out. We saw him earlier back in the second quarter, exhausted on the sideline. Wonder if that may have something to do with it, but nonetheless, he will line up as a wide receiver here. Empty backfield, 5-man out. Lizad will keep the ball, and he will try and run, but he will, looks like they will roll him out.
Number 95.
So that will stop the clock. It looks like he was tackled, but they will roll him out. So the clock stops at 44 seconds. And you have to wonder, if they did roll that a tackle there, how different this game could be, as that will take a lot of time off the clock. But now North Hills will be able to think, and they will be able to get set, and they will be able to get back into an empty backfield 5 wide receiver set. Elizad, the quarterback. He will get it. He will throw. Scramble out of the pocket. And he will try a shuffle pass. It looks like he might have been in front of the line, but nonetheless, they will roll him out. Again at the 41, so 38 seconds now. We'll have third down, and I believe to be 7 coming up.
Yes, 3rd and 7. Indeed, it looks like.
So 3rd and 7, 38 seconds remaining, 10-7. This is, of course, 4-down territory for North Hills. If they don't get a first down here, and it goes to 4th down, and it will be huge.
Twin formation. Looks like Matt Morgan calls a timeout.
Matt Morgan will call his second timeout at the half.
Obviously, he didn't quite like what he saw on the defense there.
He had to waste a timeout earlier over some confusion. The Rowdy Rooters, who we've talked about, of course, playing their siren. You can hear it all the way from over here. This is an atmosphere that not many in Whippeal teams get to enjoy.
We would also like to thank all of the Plum High School students that have made their way out to North Hills this
Quite
evening.
a rowdy group of high school students.
A rowdy group of Plum High School students. I'd like to thank all of you for coming out today and supporting your squad.
Now you can see a timeout probably called to not just get their defense for this next play, but see what they're going to do for the next couple of plays. As North Hills is out of timeouts, they're going to move at a much faster pace if they can't get out of bounds. Matt Morgan just wants to make sure his team's ready for the next 38 seconds. They're going to be some big ones.
If North Hills faces a fourth down, I really do believe a quick run to their running back Nick Santucci is going to be the outcome.
North Hills back in, 3 wide receivers out, and they will quickly throw, and it will be caught. He will be hit behind the line, but he will throw it down the field, and he will overthrow his target by about 10, maybe 15 yards.
Couldn't help but
that was number 32, Bryce Walker, who has been a very good wide receiver in this game. They tried a trick play, and it will be unsuccessful. So with 30 seconds here remaining in the game, your Mustangs lead at 10-7, and just a costly decision there to try a trick play. And we're questioning it here up in the booth.
It makes you wonder, was that the design play, or in a panic did the wide receiver throw it down the field knowing perhaps that he could get the clock to stop, reset, think of a fourth down play?
And this is it for your Indians here. Mustangs set up. A little bit of confusion going on.
So lies that in. And he will throw, of course. Here's a man open.
Mustang interception!
That is number 44. Nicholas Carlos Santa in his game back from injury. He has a huge game on the ground to reestablish a great running game, and he has a huge interception. We've seen the defense come up big. We saw 2 fumbles in this half, and now this game is about to be over as the Mustangs have a 10-7 lead with the ball, with 23 seconds left in the game, and with no timeouts for North Hills.
Carlos Sano.
So we will see the team in victory formation. Matt Goodwin under center. And what a great game this has been.
Incredible win for the Mustangs. Everything went in their favor tonight. Special teams was incredible. Defense made the stops. The running game was great. Another great W for the Mustangs.
Carlos Sano in his first game back has certainly shown what he can provide for the Mustangs, what he can give, not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. And he is on pace for a great season. If he could stay healthy, I'm really looking forward to him. With the 4 running backs, we have Carlos Sano, Coxon, pounded up in the middle. We have a middle force, we have an outside force. It's going to be an exciting with Kevin Brown and Jaleel Bay running the ball on the outside, running with speed. Nick Coxon, Carlos Sano running with power. We have a great lot of options here, especially with 2 different types of quarterbacks, 2 different sets of running backs we have here. Lots of different styles of football are going to be at play this year on the offense. Very versatile, as well as good defense, strong, and exceptional special teams.
Mr. Barat, your final thoughts.
You know, I thought that this game would be a little bit of a blowout in Plum's favor. I was surprised North Hills was able to actually hang with Plum. I was impressed with the Indians' performance. Overall, impressed with Plum's performance also. Both teams seemed to struggle a little bit to run the ball. Both teams had some bad breaks. Both teams had some good breaks. And honestly, guys, it was a lot like last year's game when Plum was down 17 to nothing. And then they scored 2 touchdowns and made it 17-14 and had all the momentum. And North Hills just clung on to victory. And I think tonight Plum just clung on to victory. So big win by the Mustangs. They'll play a section game next week at Altoona, which will have a week off. We are not making that trip out to the great Midwest, you know, in the middle of the state in Pennsylvania. But yeah, real good win by the Mustangs tonight, guys, and also by Pat Carey's squad, the North Hills Indians. They fall to 1-1 on the season, and Plum is 2-0. And Matt Morgan actually pokes fun at me, guys. Just want to add this in real quick.
you know, everyone is predicting Plum to sweep through the section, struggle a little bit with Penn Trafford and McKeesport. You know, you never know what's going to happen. You have to play the games. Norwin's a good squad this year, but to beat North Hills, who's probably going to finish somewhere like 3rd, 4th, or 5th in their section, that bodes well for Plum getting a potential home playoff game, since typically two of the third place seeds, looking a month and a half down the road, will get a home playoff game. So this actually out of section game doesn't affect the section standings, but in hindsight, when that bracket comes out, you know, worst case scenario, if Plum does what they should do, they should be no worse than a 6 or 7 seed. So, which means on that first week in November, we might have the first home playoff game in a long time. So, kind of excited, looking forward to that. Good performance by the onslaught of quarterbacks tonight, as Plum went strictly to the Wildcat and just seemed to want to kill the game. Killed time and killed clock with that lead. So overall, good performance. Plum does have some things to clean up on, and they will do that, Coach Morgan and the coaching staff.
I definitely believe that this is more than just a pen and paper win. High school football is a lot about enthusiasm, a lot about momentum, thoughts, feelings of the players, and how that affects their team. This is definitely a big confidence boost. North Hills is a good football team, ranked ahead of Plum in the MSA, and this is definitely one that's going to push the Mustangs further and harder in the season.
The Mustangs will move to 2-0 on the year, 1-0 in sections. This was non-section, like Mr. Barat said. North Hills falls to 1-1. 3-13, 382-27, the Mustangs' all-time record. North Hills will fall to 474, 281, and 27. On behalf of the Plum TV Network, I'm Logan Carney, who's joined again today by Nino Fischetti, Nolan Carney, Dylan Fantone, Tyler Wilson, and the real dude himself, Mr. Rick Barat. Good night, everyone.